The brutal conflict in Ukraine continues its grim march. It is now the fourth year since Russia's full-scale invasion began. This invasion started on February 24, 2022. The fighting has caused immense suffering. Ukrainian cities and towns face constant bombardment. Soldiers on both sides endure horrific conditions on the front lines. The world watches as this war of attrition grinds on. The hope for a swift resolution has long faded. Instead, a protracted struggle defines Eastern Europe's landscape. The daily reality for Ukrainians is one of sirens, shelters, and uncertainty for the future. On Wednesday, June 4, 2025, a stark plea emerged from Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed Western allies. He spoke via video link to the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. This meeting took place at NATO headquarters in Brussels. Representatives from around 50 countries were present. President Zelensky's message was urgent. He implored backers to speed up deliveries of air defense systems. He specifically highlighted the critical need for US-made Patriot systems. These systems are vital to counter relentless Russian missile strikes that target civilian infrastructure and terrorize the population. The human cost of this war is staggering. The United Nations estimates that more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians have been killed since the 2022 invasion. This number is likely an undercount. The true toll is feared to be much higher. Beyond civilian casualties, tens of thousands of soldiers on both sides have lost their lives. Families are torn apart. Entire communities have been displaced. The psychological trauma inflicted upon the survivors will last for generations. Each day brings fresh reports of destruction and loss, painting a bleak picture of the ongoing devastation and the urgent need for protection. The Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting itself underscores the international effort to support Kyiv. This forum was established 3 years ago. It was created by the former U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Its purpose was to coordinate military aid to Ukraine following Russia's full-scale aggression. The regular meetings of this group have become a crucial platform for assessing Ukraine's needs. They also serve to marshal resources from a coalition of concerned nations. The gathering on June 4, 2025, was another critical juncture in this ongoing effort to equip Ukraine to defend itself against a larger and determined aggressor. A notable development marked the June 4, 2025, meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not attend. This was the first time a Pentagon chief has been absent from this vital forum. The forum has been a cornerstone of support since its inception. The Trump administration, which took office in January 2025, has also not chaired a meeting of the group. This shift in U.S. engagement has not gone unnoticed. It signals a potential change in priorities or approach from Washington. This change comes at a critical time for Ukraine's defense efforts and raises questions among allies. President Zelensky also made a direct economic appeal during his address. He urged participants to consider buying weapons directly from Ukraine. He stated that Ukrainian industry possesses significant untapped capacity. However, it desperately needs financing to realize this potential. President Zelensky highlighted a substantial funding gap for weapons procurement. This gap currently amounts to about $18 billion. Tapping into Ukraine's own defense production capabilities could offer a sustainable way to equip its forces. It would also bolster its war-torn economy, providing jobs and stimulating local industry during a period of extreme hardship. The financial strain on Ukraine is immense. Beyond the need for direct aid, the country is working to mobilize all its internal resources. The $18 billion funding gap for weapons procurement is a stark reminder of the economic challenges. This money is needed not just for foreign purchases but to energize Ukraine's own defense sector. If this funding can be secured, it would allow Ukraine to produce more of its own ammunition, drones, and other essential military hardware. This would reduce reliance on external supply chains. It would also contribute to the nation's long-term security and economic resilience in the face of ongoing aggression. The perceived shifts in U.S. policy have caused unease among European NATO allies. There are growing concerns that the U.S., under the current Trump administration, might withdraw troops from Europe. The administration may seek to focus more on the Indo-Pacific region. Such a move would have profound implications for European security architecture. It could potentially weaken NATO's deterrence posture on its eastern flank. This concern adds another layer of complexity to the discussions about long-term support for Ukraine. It also highlights the need for European nations to shoulder more responsibility for their own collective defense. Despite any shifts in U.S. engagement, the collective support from Ukraine's backers remains substantial. Since the Ukraine Defense Contact Group was formed, its members have provided around $126 billion in weapons and military assistance. This figure represents a significant international commitment. Within this sum, the United States has contributed more than $66.5 billion. This aid has been crucial in enabling Ukraine to resist the invasion. It has provided everything from ammunition and artillery to armored vehicles and advanced training. The sustained flow of assistance is a testament to the solidarity of many nations. The United Kingdom has played a prominent role in galvanizing support. The UK co-chaired the June 4, 2025 meeting alongside Germany. During this meeting, the UK announced ambitious plans. It intends to achieve a tenfold increase in drone production to aid Ukraine. This commitment reflects the evolving nature of the conflict. Drones have become a decisive factor on the battlefield. They are used for reconnaissance, artillery spotting, and direct attacks. The 𝐕.K quote, "S focus on drone technology demonstrates an understanding of Ukraine's immediate operational needs and the changing dynamics of modern warfare." The war in Ukraine has underscored the pivotal role of unmanned aerial vehicles. Drones, both commercial and military grade, have transformed combat. They offer a relatively low-cost way to gather intelligence and strike targets with precision. Both sides have extensively used drones, leading to a constant race for technological superiority and countermeasures. The 𝐕.K quote, "S plan to significantly boost its drone production for Ukraine is a direct response to this reality. It aims to provide Ukrainian forces with a critical edge. This will help them to continue to innovate and adapt on a highly dynamic and lethal battlefield." UK Defense Secretary John Healey articulated the broader significance of supporting Ukraine. He stated, "We must ensure that Ukraine's forces have what they need when they need it to continue their fight." He further emphasized the wider implications, but this is not just Ukraine's battle. It's a battle for the security of Europe, for our security today, tomorrow, and for our future generations. This statement encapsulates the view held by many NATO members. They believe that Ukraine's struggle is intrinsically linked to the stability and security of the entire European continent and by extension the global order. The sentiment of shared responsibility was echoed by other European leaders. Lithuanian Defense Minister 𝐷ovilė Šakalienė offered a poignant reminder. She stated, "You recognize true friends not during a party, but when you do have difficult times." Her words underscore the moral imperative behind the support for Ukraine. For countries like Lithuania, which share a border with Russia, Ukraine's fight is seen as a frontline defense of their own sovereignty and security. This perspective fuels their strong advocacy for continued and increased assistance to Kyiv. It is a recognition that Ukraine's resilience benefits all of Europe. The geopolitical implications of the war extend far beyond Europe's borders. French President Emmanuel Macron has issued warnings about the consequences of wavering support. He has argued that abandoning Ukraine would severely erode U.S. credibility. Such a loss of credibility would not be limited to Europe. It would also impact America's ability to deter potential conflicts elsewhere, notably with China over Taiwan. This highlights the interconnectedness of global security challenges. The outcome in Ukraine will send a powerful message to adversaries and allies alike about the resolve of democratic nations to defend international law and sovereignty. The urgent need for air defense systems, as highlighted by President Zelensky, remains paramount. The ongoing Russian missile and drone attacks continue to inflict heavy damage. They target critical infrastructure and civilian areas, aiming to break Ukraine's will. Providing systems like the Patriot and ensuring a steady supply of interceptors is crucial. This will protect Ukrainian lives and allow the country to maintain some semblance of normalcy. It is a tangible way for allies to demonstrate their commitment to Ukraine's survival and its right to defend itself against unprovoked aggression. Therefore, the call to action is clear and compelling. The international community must not only continue, but also increase its support for Ukraine. This support must be comprehensive. It must include military aid, economic assistance, and political solidarity. The battle for Ukraine is indeed a battle for the future of European security. It is a test of the international community's commitment to the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Sustained and robust support is essential. It will empower Ukraine to withstand the aggression, ultimately secure its future, and in doing so, help safeguard global peace and stability for generations to come.
I hope you found this video useful. Follow me right here on YouTube for more great content daily. Download my international best-selling book, Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone, for absolutely free at growfast.club. I say again, download my book at growfast.club for all of my 7-figure growth hacks. Get your copy now while it's still free.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.